Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about Burger King and how it can be better positioned in the fast food market. The rise of the fast food industry has dynamically shifted eating trends across the globe. In the US alone, an estimated 50 million people eat at fast food restaurants daily. Burger King is among one of the top leaders in the fast food category. In 2018, the chain took in about $22 billion in revenue. In 2010, Burger King switched ownership to 3G Capital, and since then, the company has doubled the number of locations and increased sales by 128% in the US. In addition, operating costs were reduced and brand management was developed. As a business, Burger King has faced difficulties with reaching their target market, maintaining a reputation for serving quality food, settling legal issues with franchises, and sustaining successful advertising and branding campaigns. Despite these problems, Burger King continues to bring in profits and rank number 2 in its industry. Burger King has many areas of opportunity for the company. Because of the increased demand for healthier, higher quality items, Burger King now has the opportunity to diversify its menu and add items that would cater to that demand. Along with the higher quality food, the company could also offer higher quality service. Because Burger King is ranked 15 out of 20 according to the ACSI, there is a high possibility of upward mobility if the company continues to improve in the areas of food and service quality. Additionally, the global fast food market is steadily growing due to a higher number of faster-paced lifestyles, leaving plenty of room for Burger King to thrive in the growing market. Lastly, Burger King's marketing leaves much to be desired. With the correct marketing strategy, the company has potential for moving up in the ranks of fast food restaurants. Burger King has a window of opportunity to develop new and improved items to their menu. Along with their new product line, Burger King can accompany the new products with better customer service, location renovations, competitive pricing, and an enhanced atmosphere. These new products and ways of business can attract new customers, as well as prove to previous customers dedication and loyalty as a brand. In this project, we conducted research to learn more about people's perceptions and attitudes regarding quick service restaurants, particularly Burger King. The goal of this research is to answer how the quality of food, price, atmosphere, cleanliness, and customer service determines how people choose their favorite quick service restaurant, as well as their perceptions of Burger King. In addition, we wanted to take a look at Burger King's marketing and its effectiveness in driving people to the brand.
For Hypothesis 1, our alternative hypothesis is that there are specific aspects, quality of food, price, atmosphere, cleanliness, and customer service, that Burger King can improve upon in order to increase the likelihood of sales. For the null hypothesis, we stated that there is nothing specific among the 5 variables that Burger King can improve upon in order to increase the likelihood of sales. The reason why we chose this hypothesis is because Burger King ranks relatively low on the American Customer Satisfaction Index compared to other fast food brands, and we wanted to see if improving some customer satisfaction factors could increase the likelihood of sales for Burger King. We felt that this data was really relevant to our situation as a fast food chain, and we chose to focus on these 5 variables because our survey data showed that these were the most important factors that customer considered when choosing to eat at a quick service or a fast food restaurant. For our first hypothesis, we decided to use a regression analysis. We chose to use regression analysis because this type of analysis can tell us which factors influence our Y and if the factors influence it positively or negatively. Our regression analysis is mainly to determine which of our X factors influence our dependent Y variable, which was the likelihood of purchase given an improvement in Burger King. Using our survey data, we were able to gather the importance of certain quality factors, which we used for our 5 independent variables, X. Our X variables are quality of food, price, atmosphere, cleanliness, and customer service. In order to determine the effect of these variables on our Y variable, regression analysis was the best choice, as there are multiple independent variables and only one dependent variable. From our results of this regression analysis, we can see that our p-values for each variable are higher than 0.05%, so the null hypothesis would be true, and this would mean that none of the improvement of these 5 variables impacts sales. I'll quickly note that these results are not based on open-ended questions from our survey. For our situation, we wouldn't strictly follow these p-values. They are probably not great because our sample size is just not big enough. Additionally, we would still say that some of these variables do impact sales to some degree based on the results of our open-ended questions, which we will discuss in a moment. For our second hypothesis, our alternative hypothesis is those who have seen a Burger King ad in the last 6 months are more likely to visit Burger King than those who have not seen a Burger King ad in the last 6 months. The null hypothesis is those who have seen a Burger King ad and those who haven't are equally as likely to visit Burger King. We chose this hypothesis because we wanted a better idea of Burger King's situation outside of customer and quality satisfaction, because maybe marketing efforts have not been reaching enough people or have not been very effective. So we decided to use this hypothesis to determine if consumers have seen a Burger King ad, and if they have, whether or not they ended up visiting the restaurant, because it would give us a good idea of whether or not we need to focus our efforts into the marketing of the company. For our second hypothesis, we chose to use a t-test, or a test of means for our data regarding consumers seeing Burger King ads and their visits to the restaurant. The reason why we chose to run a t-test is that we wanted to know if seeing a Burger King ad relatively recently would affect a consumer's visitation to the restaurant. For our hypothesis, which is those who have seen a Burger King ad in the last 6 months are more likely to visit Burger King than those who have not, we concluded that the best t-test to use would be a t-test for 2 samples assuming unequal variances. This is because we are trying to test the difference of the mean under 2 different groups, which are those who have seen a Burger King ad in the last 6 months and those who haven't. The results of our t-test show a p-value that is less than 0.05, so we will accept the alternate hypothesis and reject the null. We can see that in our sample, 11% of those that didn't see an ad in the last 6 months went to the restaurant. On the other hand, of those who did see an ad, 71% of them went to the restaurant, which would indicate that the sales of our company are affected by marketing efforts, and the more marketing efforts that we make, the more visits to the restaurant we will see.
Now moving on to our survey results, we wanted to see what consumers think off the top of their minds about fast food restaurants. So we tried to get our participants to write down what they like and what they dislike about fast food restaurants without having any kind of options there to change their mind or impact their decision. So as you can see with the word cloud for what they like about fast food restaurants, and as you can see, the biggest word there is food, and after that it says cheap, convenient, quick, fast, good, and a few people said familiarity, quality. Now moving on to all the things that they dislike about fast food restaurants. As you can see, the biggest word on this word cloud is unhealthy. Most participants said that they don't like that fast food restaurants are unhealthy. A lot of people mentioned quality, dirty. Some people mentioned dirty or cleanliness. A lot of people said, however, that their focus is on quality and the unhealthy levels of the food. Now, after making the people come up with their own adjectives and descriptions of how they perceive fast food restaurants, we decided to narrow it down and give them options based on these 5 variables. As we stated before, we use these 5 variables to see if they would have an effect on the purchase decision of consumers. So we asked the participants to rank them from 1 to 5, with 1 being the highest and 5 being the lowest. And as you can see, 59% of participants ranked quality of food as being the most preferred, and 34% ranked quality of food as the second most preferred. And if you look at the right side of this bar graph, you can see that 56% of people ranked atmosphere as least preferred, which means that this factor is not something that consumers really think about when making their purchase decision. Now, moving on to our pie chart. So for this question, whatever the participants ranked as number one in the previous question showed up on this question. For example, if someone said that the quality of food was their most preferred and they gave it a 1, this is what this question would ask them. So, referring back to what you ranked as the most preferred factor for quick service fast food restaurants, if Burger King were to fix their, for example, quality of food, how likely are you to purchase their products? Now, as you can see, a large majority, 54% of participants said that they were very likely to purchase Burger King products if the company were to fix or change whatever that they chose as their most preferred factor in their purchase decision. 8% said extremely likely, and only about 5% said extremely unlikely. So according to our results, we found that the quality of food, price, and cleanliness matter to consumers the most when they're making choices about fast food restaurants. And we came to this conclusion because these are the most highly ranked choices. And additionally, we discovered that consumers are more likely to go to a fast food or quick service restaurant if the establishment fixes or works on the factors that are most preferable for a consumer.
Based on the results of our tests, there are 3 main variables that Burger King should focus on to improve overall sales. Those 3 variables include quality of food, price, and cleanliness. We are suggesting that Burger King develops at least one new line of products to improve their quality of food. Preferably, this new line of products should expand their range of customers. For example, Burger King should create a new line of products for vegans or vegetarians. Burger King needs to ensure that quality is a top priority when creating this new line of products to make sure that the new line of products is sustainable. As far as pricing is concerned, we are suggesting that Burger King reevaluates different price points to see how they can cut costs for customers. We will also encourage Burger King to come up with a few different deals that will encourage customers to come and spend their money with Burger King. We have seen different examples of this with Wendy's and their 4 for $4 and McDonald's with their 2 for $2. We are advising that Burger King has updated training programs for all employees to help improve cleanliness. Burger King should also update employee guidelines to comply with these new techniques to improve cleanliness. Burger King might have to hire new employees or get rid of some current employees to make this possible. Our group also recommends that Burger King spend more money on advertising and marketing. The more ads that people see, the more people will come in to visit. This also gives Burger King the opportunity to attract new customers.
Overall, based on our data collection and analysis, the best practices for Burger King is to update its product line, offer a competitive pricing deal, ensure all stores are properly cleaned, and consider upping their advertising budget. To help inform our decisions, we refer to the following resources.